Hey folks, how you doing? This is the Late Night Spirit Show podcast right here for the 11th of June, 2015. I hope everything's going okay for you. I did a live broadcast earlier today, so you might want to check that out too at AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Check that out. I want to ask all of you, before coming up on the break a little bit later here in this first part of the show, I'm going to lead in to the rest of the show with this, to the first segment, and that is, who are your friends? Who are your friends? Do you disagree with them most of the time? Here, let me turn some volumes up. How's that? Do you agree with them? Is there any part of what they say that you agree with? When they say something that, when they say something that you don't agree with, do you feel obligated to defend yourself? And do you know your friends that well, or well enough, to understand that there might be somebody else telling them things that are totally against what it is you believe? I mean, do you know your friends that well? Well, for me, I've had the opportunity to sit down with a lot of people in my life, and on at least one hand, I can tell you who my best friends are that I've known for over 20 or 30 years. They understand where I come from. They understand my beliefs, and I understand theirs. And hey, we can still buy lunch for one another. That's part of it. We disagree. We agree. We go from there. We have the opportunity to learn from one another. And right there is the big key thing that I think people need to take away from all of that. That if you can learn from somebody, it doesn't matter if they're your friend or not, if you can learn from somebody, I think what matters is that education. And and literally through that self-knowledge, through that learning from other people, you then find what you can and cannot talk about, but still you're on a level of, if I disagree with him, do I have the obligation to defend myself? You know, it could be ideologically, it could be intellectually, it could be physically. Do I have the duty, the obligation to defend myself? So if somebody disagrees with me, do I have the right to defend myself? I think the ultimate answer is yes. But what do you think? Email me, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. I want to know. It's just a question. It doesn't lead into a debate or anything. Or you can go to American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. Check that out as well. And post your comments there. I'll be back. Got a break coming up right now in about 30 seconds. So let's all regroup, reset, and come back, and we'll talk about what the hell is going up with this Jade Helm 15 thing, okay? And why do people think it's not a big deal? I'm going to get into the first segment and talk about that, and then we'll change gears after the second break. So you can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. You can go to the website, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Don't go away, folks. There's more to come. I'll be back right after this. Sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. Are you a voice actor? Would you like to perform on radio plays? Send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Theater. Scripts are available. Send your information to Eastland Radio Theater at USA.com.
You are being lied to. All of the state-run media propaganda is deceiving you. The script has been written and the biological androids reading those teleprompters are not telling you everything. From Fast and Furious to Jade Helm 15, the ideological slaves churn out misinformation and the general public, who are not aware enough to understand they are being lied to, eat it up. The mainstream media demonizes those that know the truth, that are said to be conspiracy theorists. They are pushing the narrative of globalization and supporting the principles of a new world order. If the voting populace of the United States of America knew exactly what was happening to them, they would band together to stop the total authoritarian takeover of their country. It is now time for everyone to see what is happening and stand up and defend themselves. It is time for all of the people to accept that they have been living a lie, they have been living a delusion, that their country, their homes, and their property will be taken from them if they do not stand and defend their liberties and freedoms.
Welcome back, folks. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here on the American Liberty Radio Network. You can go to American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook, check things out. Sorry, I had a little drink of something before coming back on air, and it seems to... Yeah, I had a Pepsi, folks. I have a Pepsi. So, anyway, yeah. So, anyway, what do we got? What do we got going on around the world today, around the country? Hey, let's take a look at this Jade Helm thing, shall we? I'm going to say this, I'm going to preface it by saying this. I have heard various hosts talk about this Jade Helm thing. And I really feel that we need to look at this as a whole. Now, I'm going to make this a second preface, okay, and say this. In my book, from my perspective, basically, anybody that doesn't see this as a total and absolute takeover of the United States of America has got to have their head in an orifice of their body, and they need to pull it out. Okay? I don't know why. I honestly do not know why. There are people who want to continue to deny the facts that are out in front of them. I don't know. Now, I've paused for a great deal for a number of reasons because, as you can hear, I'm getting messages. So, there you go. But I want you all to remember that all of this was planned by design. It's being implemented at the behest of those that own the federal government. Own. Yes, I said own the federal government. from beforeitsnews.com. You can find this on any army.mil site as well. Just go look this up. Hiring internment cops for FEMA camps. This came out yesterday. Need a job? Now it's time to infiltrate them. Saddle up, Patriots. Stay at the ready, folks. Seriously. Now, in this article, they're claiming September or October something may happen. It says here, stay ready, folks. Seriously. SHTF mildly this September, but September 2016 will be devastating. Prepare now. Now, I can tell you why they say that, why the author here says that. And it's pretty much the ongoing consensus with most people that Obama will not leave in 2017. But the headline here at beforeitsnews.com says, Go Army.com hiring internment cops for FEMA camps, plus Fresno lawmaker invokes concentration and internment camps at vaccine bill rally. There's a video on that as well in this article. Now let me continue. Believers do not fear what's coming and non-believers should. Your personal believer invitation is below the video. Also, Fresno lawmaker invokes concentration and internment camps at vaccine bill rally. Plus, will you hear, well done, good and faithful follower from Jesus? Share this while we still have the freedom to do so. I want to say this, and that's on the American Liberty Radio Network Facebook page. I want to say this. I want to make this perfectly clear. I'm going to make this perfectly clear. It doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure all this out. Oh, let me go here on this side note. All you Christians better wise up. Seriously, you better wise up. Well, we just want to keep a look at Jesus. That's all we need to do. And because I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to tell you this right now. I want to make this perfectly clear. Christians all over the United States and around the world are the most intolerant people I have ever met in my entire life. I was a member of 2 Christian churches in Stockton, California. And for anything that we wanted to do, me and a few other people that were theatrical, it took an act of Congress, pretty much, figuratively speaking, to get anything done. So, in part, I will say this to my Christian friends. Lock and load. Get up off your knees and start defending yourself. Because I really don't believe you have the balls to do so. Okay? So that's my message to my Christian friends. This old Jade Helm thing, I'm trying to find articles from it, so I'll just go here and give you what they know and what I've looked into as well. This Jade Helm thing is nothing more than a total and absolute takeover of the United States of America under martial law. Period. End of sentence. Done. If you don't believe that, if you don't even wrap your head around that, if you don't understand that and can't figure it out on your own, well, guess what? If you're a radio host, you better just shut it down now. Because you have no idea. No idea what this whole situation is. And Let me remind you, neither do I. But I have enough information behind me to back what I say. AlanBWest.com posted this the other day. Forget Jade Helm. Obama quietly implemented outrageous rule against gun owners. So go check that one out. I think that one's also on American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. And there's a PDF form I'm going to put up on the American Liberty Radio Network site. Request to conduct realistic military training. Jade Helm 15. Purpose. The commander of the United States Army Special Operations Command seeks a written invitation and approval from local officials to conduct realistic military training within their jurisdictions for joint military exercise. Jade Helm 15. What is realistic military training? Realistic military training, or RMT, is training conducted outside of federally owned property. The RMT process is designed to ensure proper coordination between DoD representatives and the local and regional authorities. The process includes the following. There's a whole list of that. What is Jade Helm? JH is a challenging 8-week joint military and interagency IA unconventional UW exercise conducted throughout Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, and Colorado. JH is a U.S. Special Operations Command sponsored exercise to improve the Special Operations Forces UA capability as part of the National Security Strategy. Who and where? Participants: U.S. Army Special Forces Command, Green Berets, U.S. Navy SEALs, U.S. Air Force Special Operations Command, USMC Marine Special Operations Command, USMC Marine Expeditionary Units, 82nd Airborne Division, interagency partners. Exercise locations within Texas shows that. Why Texas? Impact on the area. What to expect. I'm putting this PDF form up for you to read. I suggest you do. Okay? It's only a suggestion. You can do whatever you want, or you can ignore it, or you can actually read it and prepare yourself. Okay? I'm going to take a little break a little earlier than I usually do. So stick around. There's more to come. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Or go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com.
No elitist drivel, no media spin. Logic over emotion, fact over fiction. The home of independent conservative thought. The Conservative Voice with your host, Jeff Wagner, only on the Conservative Radio Network.
Shall we play a game?
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
I am wondering, why are you here?
Hey folks, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast right here for the 11th of June, 2015. And we had 3 entertainers pass away just within the last 24 hours. Christopher Lee, of vampire Dracula fame, and also Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. And also Ron Moody, who's a British actor, did Finnegan, I guess, in Oliver. And, of course, wrestler Dusty Rhodes. Virgil Runnels passed away. So condolences go out to all their families as well. Lots of things happening. Where do I begin? Well, there's 450 more troops being sent to Iraq. Why? What's the agenda? We set up a puppet government over there, and then they get pissed off at us when we don't do it, when they don't do what we tell them to do. Care to answer this question? What makes us, the people, you and I, think that all of this is for our benefit? Okay? Think about this for a minute. I just want to throw this out at you. Here we are. We're in a country that we're supposedly free, right? Supposedly liberated from the British monarchy, which of course we're not as of 1871. Here we are. We're a people of good nature, sometimes not so good. We've got all these freedoms we've taken for granted for the last 100 years. And what do? We have all of this, what I will call intellectual capital, and we squander it. We have the resources to become whatever it is we want to become. We have the technology, the education, all of that to become what we want to become. And what do we do with all of those resources? We squander them. We put them, well, I'll tell it to you like it was shown to me. We gather all the best minds together. We glean that information from them. We rape their intellect. And then we throw them on the trash heap of history. And then others come along, our offspring or others, and we try to tell them history is repeating itself. And what do? Nothing. They criticize us. They bash us. They tell us that we don't know what we're talking about. They tell us that, they use that old cliche of, oh, you're nothing but a conspiracy theorist. No, I question things to get to the truth. Okay? But what do we have? We have a group of people in Washington, D.C. that absolutely, positively, 100% and utterly do not care one iota for you. And they don't care. They're going to run over you like a freaking out-of-control steamroller. And they're going to squash you like a moth against the light on a summer day. They don't care. The propaganda that they're spewing from their corrupt minds is based entirely upon a more diabolical, more sinister, more communistic and mindset, and they have ulterior motives. And we're supposed to trust them? And we're supposed to vote for them? Oh, let me throw this side note at you, folks. Your votes don't count. Never have, never will. This whole political system, this political theater that you're viewing is nothing but a complete and total scam. Any radio host with a shred of credibility and integrity should know this. I don't want to bash any other radio host by name. I just want to put this out as a general statement. Any radio host that does not see that really doesn't have the integrity or the character to continue doing what they're doing. And instead, let me throw a metaphor at you. Instead of looking at the pencil and saying it's a number 2 pencil, it's yellow, it's got writing on it, and it's got an eraser. That's all you need to know. That's a metaphor, folks, for this. For any radio host not to view what is going on with an acute sense of reality within them and the insight to tell the difference and interpret it in the right way does not have the credibility or the integrity to be on the air. That's just the way it is. Look what happened to MSNBC's Keith Olbermann. Ratings were so low, he went back to doing what he did before. Sports. Now here we are, folks. We're in a country with varying opinions. We're in a country with varying opinions, and those opinions are just that. Results of various perspectives. These opinions are nothing but observations from various perspectives with, get this, with the, well, I was going to take another minute and a half to explain this, but let me just sum it up like this. They do not see behind the scenes, behind the curtain, who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles. They don't. They don't see this. They don't see this. They don't understand this. They don't care to understand this. Even if they saw it before and they've changed their mind and said, oh, that, yeah, I was wrong. But even if they make a 180 and turn around from all of that, oh, they know what's behind the curtain. They know who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles, but they've changed their minds. I'm going to break, folks. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, even if you disagree with me, the burden of proof is on you. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Go to the website at AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. I'll be back right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Hold on tight. Get ready.
Whatever the subject you can think of, we talk about it. Come join Diana and Wayne as we discuss whatever it is that is happening in our lives.
Come and listen to Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Check it out on Spreaker.com.
The world as we know it is changing. We must speak out against the tyranny in our country. Stand up, speak out, get involved. Live Truth Radio. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com.
Time to take our republic back, folks. Brian Bonner, the Uncooperative Radio Show host, will tell you how. Join us for the ride of your life. Using humor and the facts, we will expose the news that the mainstream media refuses to report. The Constitution is the solution, and we can prove it. Listen in and find out what it means to be an uncooperative citizen of these United States. You can find our show at uncooperativerradio.com, and we are rebroadcast on redstatetalkradio.com.
Hey folks, I'm back. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That's going to change, folks, so stay tuned. And, well, let me know how you like the page. Also, next Wednesday, if time permits, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, American Liberty Radio Live. Yes, going to be a live show. I may have a guest on, so stay tuned for that as well. More news coming up about that. Things are changing for the network and for me personally, and I'll tell you more about that when the time comes. But let me just give you a hint. I'll be in a totally different FEMA region. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Just but more details about that later, and we'll go from there. Go to American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook. You can email me, by the way, at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Hey, I just want to tell you, last weekend we saw San Andreas with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. That's a pretty good movie. It was a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. Now, some of the stuff was a little unbelievable. You know, it's kind of like 2012, you know, with John Cusack. I think it was John Cusack. It's a little unbelievable, but plausible. Okay? So if you've ever seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. So let me change gears and go here. Facebook drama. Somebody sent me some information, months ago. Or the information I saw was on somebody's post, and they mentioned within their post the Facebook drama. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that'd be a good, you can make up a title for a soap opera and have that part of it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's really, really incredible. My question is, when do you unfriend people in that Facebook drama? Do you wait till they become complete asses and then you just go unfriend them? Or do you want to listen to what they have to say and then make up your mind accordingly? Reason I say that is because I'm dumping a whole bunch of people off my Facebook. I've got over 300 listed friends there, and I don't know hardly any of them personally, and hardly any of them interact with me. They just post stuff on my page and go from there. I like it, so what's the point of doing that? I want some interaction. Twitter's good too. Google Plus is good too. But the fact of the matter is it's a waste of my time to have all those people on there not interacting with me, the posts that I make. I mean, some of you know who you are, and you're safe. You interact with me. Others haven't interacted with me in 6 months to almost a year. Regardless, no exceptions, you're gone. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the paranormal groups that I have liked or follow or friended. And I'm getting rid of some of my groups too. I got too many of them. So you're gone. I don't have anything against you. I don't personally know you, so I can't make that judgment. But you don't interact. What's the point? So you're gone. Okay? I was complimenting someone the other day, and I don't know what it was. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea what happened, but they no longer have their personal page up. They don't. They no longer They no longer have their personal pages up. And I'm wondering, okay? I'm wondering why, and this is just me, just nobody else, just me. Why is it that when you compliment someone, they may have had a bad day, some things may not, seem right to them, I don't know. You give somebody a compliment, and they get all butthurt over it, and then they don't talk to you for a while. Why is that? That's just me. That's a question I have. Rhetorical, but if you want to answer that, that's fine, because I don't know. And I laugh because I know what I'm about to say. I look at what is there. I look at people's pages. I read their posts. I like it if I like it. And if it's a nasty graphic post, I don't like it. I've had to dump a lot of pages that showed beheadings of Christians, cruelty to animals. I've dumped them. Why? Facebook drama. There's a lot of people on Facebook that seem to think that they have all the right answers. I don't. I'm the first one in line to tell you I don't. I don't know everything. But there's a lot of people out there very passionate about what they believe. So therefore, what do? They slam your notifications. And they put like 20 or so notifications on your list. I should know. I get people telling me, man, I looked at my notifications and 50 of them are you. I'm like, because I'm sharing with you the information I have. Okay? The factual information. Let me retract that statement. It's information that I share with you that I hope that I encourage you to go and check out yourself. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. Have I read it? Have I not? Some I don't read. Most of it I do. Okay? Some people share with me things that I look at on my page and go, and I think to myself, why are you sharing this with me? Is it something that I really need to know at this point? Okay? Is it something that I really need to know at this point? I don't know. But I read it. So anyway, it is incredible that people will always get butthurt over the most simplest things like compliments or anything like that. Specifically when I was at a job once. I was working and there was a woman there and I complimented how she looked. She looked absolutely fantastic. She looked beautiful. She was just very, I said, you look really good today. And it's a compliment. You look really good. Next thing I know, I'm in the supervisor's office. And I'm like, I just gave her a compliment. And it was like, what? Basically, I was told not to talk to anybody anymore. Okay? So any business that you work at that tells you to do that, they're breaking the First Amendment of your constitutional protected rights. Okay? Remember that. Last segment coming up. Taking a break now. Got to take a break. Yes, I know. Got to take a break. So anyway, hey, American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio.weebly.com. Check it out. Things are going to change. Stay tuned for that. I shall return momentarily right after this.
Hey there, I'm Big Tiny, and I'm the host of Big Tiny's Oldies and More. And we're playing music that you just love to hear from the 50s to the 90s. So check us out Monday through Friday and see what we're playing right here on Spreaker.com.
When the coffee is done, sit down and have a cup and listen to the best independent music station on the web. Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. Tom Slick delivers all the independent hits and talks about new music from all of your favorite artists. Listen to Tom Slick on the Morning Brew, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, only on Radio Rock 92.6 The Blitz. For more information, go to radiorocktheblitz.blogspot.com. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. This is the American Liberty Radio Network. Go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Email us at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Hello, folks. This is the Wayne Spear Show podcast right here for the 11th of June, 2015. Yes. What do we got? I don't know. Anyway, let's take a look at some news. I got the last segment of the day. Let's take a look at some of this stuff, shall we? Go to, I'm going to go to Drudge Report. And, let's see what we got there, shall we? If the page comes up. Excuse me. Murdoch stepping down as CEO of 21st Century Fox. Sons to run. New York Times, he is not ill and he still appears to be energized. And Rival broke the news. Interesting. Homeland Security secretly videotaping citizens to predict crime. Isn't that interesting? WorldNet Daily, DHS secretly videotaping citizens to predict crime. Testing for quote-unquote hostile intent planned for airline passengers. Aaron Klein writes this at WorldNet Daily. Traveling through the T.F. Green Airport of Providence, Rhode Island? If so, the Department of Homeland Security may be collecting video of you as part of a project to sniff out behavioral indicators of quote-unquote malicious intent. That's pre-crime, folks. Go look up the pre-crime technology that is out there. Go do that. Pre-crime technology is now set up in New York. The cameras, the video equipment and technology is set up in New York City, in Illinois, in San Francisco. It's all over the place, folks. It's already there. They're going to implement all this stuff, and then they're going to say, oh, yeah, about 6 months ago to a year ago, we installed this stuff. And guess what it's for? You know, this is what they're going to tell you. In other words, the DHS wants to use video images of passengers to predict crime. And this was published 3 hours ago, folks. On Tuesday, the DHS quietly released online a quote-unquote privacy impact assessment, unquote, that provides the legal justification for an ongoing experiment it is calling, quote, data collection for the centralized hostile intent project, unquote. Go look that up. Data collection for the centralized hostile intent project, unquote. Okay? The 14-page document reviewed in full by WND, WorldNet Daily, reveals the DHS's Science and Technology Directorate will conduct an exercise at the Providence Airport at an undisclosed date. The DHS is planning to collect video images at designated areas throughout the airport, including at TSA security checkpoints, ticket counters, baggage claim, and the airport entrance. No audio will be recorded at any time, states the document. The stated goal is to evaluate, quote, whether the behavioral indicators used to screen for passengers with hostile intent can be reliably observed by BDOs or behavioral detection or behavior detection officers via live video images as opposed to in person, unquote. I'm going to put this on the American Liberty Radio Network Facebook page. Okay? I really suggest, you can do whatever you want, folks. It's you. But I really suggest you read the rest of that article and tell me about it. Tell me what is happening. Okay? Tell me what you think of all of this. Because as far as I'm concerned, folks, we're screwed. To really put this in perspective, you really have to look at what the DHS's purpose is. What is the Department of Homeland Security's purpose? Who do they answer to? What is their purpose? How do they function in such a way that would violate our constitutional rights? How do they do this? Okay? How do they do this? Is it something that they just came up with? Did they sit around a boardroom and say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to violate people's rights. No, I don't think they do. But I think their bosses at the DHS or, the TSA agents, they don't sit around the table doing this. I think their bosses at the DHS do. And I think they just are following orders. More and more TSA agents are leaving because of the violation of people's protected rights. I don't know what the percentage is, so if you have that information, please send that to me. But take a look at, just examine for a minute, the very nature of surveillance. If you have a surveillance grid that to you indicates what the enemy is doing, you're going to have the advantage, aren't you? This is exactly what is happening right now. The massive surveillance grid through many different facets of TSA and DHS and all of that is picking out those areas that are volatile, and they are, and have created this a long time ago, the ability to detect a crime prior to you committing it. I have not seen the movie, but Minority Report comes to mind. And I've read documents and I've seen documentaries about, and other information as well, about pre-crime technology. Pre-crime technology. Okay? I don't understand how anyone can ignore it. Minority Report, by the way, came out in 2002, and I remember talking to a friend of mine online about pre-crime technology, and he mentioned to me it's promotion for a movie, and I'm like, really? And I do remember telling him they do have this technology already. This is 2002, folks. But you also have to, if you can, wrap your mind around this little tidbit of information. After 9/11, all the technology they created from the mid-'70s up until the late '90s was now put into place after the signature on the Patriot Act was put there, and everything was in place for the massive surveillance. Everything. Okay? Everything. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody has all the right answers on this. I know what I know because I see it for what it is, a massive surveillance grid to track and follow each and every single person. Now, how can they do that? Who's watching it? Yada, yada, yada. Guess what? I don't know. Folks, if I don't know something, I'll tell you I don't know. It's that simple. But why? Why is this so prevalent now? Why is this so prevalent? Because how do you manage 300 million people? You track them. You track them. There's RFID that you can swallow, that you can have injected into your arms. There's all sorts of technologies that can track you. By the way, you carry one each and every day. It's called your cell phone. But the question is why do you want to be tracked? Why do you want to be followed? Why do you want this to happen? Why are you not standing up against it? Why are you just yelling and screaming but doing nothing about it? Why are you sitting there making excuses for this mass surveillance? This is something I want to know. Why isn't anyone standing up? I can tell you why. Number one, they don't want to. Number two, they fear that their conveniences are going to go away. And number three, they feel too comfortable living where they live. Okay? They don't want to. People don't want to. They don't want to stand up for anything. They don't want to stand up against anything because it's too inconvenient. I don't want to go out in that hot sun and sweat and protest and blah, blah, blah. If that protest was closer to my house, I'd go. This kind of crap. This is why I can say that no one has the balls to get out to do anything. Oh yeah, let me put myself in this position. I sit here behind this microphone, but I also go out and talk to people. I also go out and observe. There was a year before last, there was an immigration rally of about 30 or 40 Mexicans downtown Reno at the Arch. And I heard something was happening. I was listening to the police scanner, and I heard something, was happening downtown. And I looked at, my significant other and said, let's go down there. Let's see what's going on. So we went down there, we parked, we walked up to there, and they were just getting finished with the rally. There was probably about 20 people around there. And one of the women had a very expensive video camera, like one you use in a TV studio, and she pointed it at me. And she said, what do you think, in her broken English? I said, I believe everybody has a right to be here. I believe in legal immigration. She immediately dropped the camera and walked away. I won't play games with people. When I tell them the truth and they walk away, obviously they have ulterior motives and don't want to listen to the truth. So when you have this Facebook drama, and you kind of ask yourself, well, when do I unfriend this person? You have to really consider what impact that person has had on your life, if any. And if they make no contributions to your posts, interact with them, what's the point of even having them? If the Mexicans or anybody from any other country want to come here, do it legally, because what's the point? You're going to be breaking the law by being here anyway, past your visa, past your whatever it is, your work permit. You might as well just be an American citizen. But see, the Democratic Party doesn't want that. They want the borders wide open. They want anybody to come in to do anything they want. They don't want to have any regulation against illegal immigrants getting jobs. By the way, the Democrats will give them everything they want, and that's what they want. The Democrats need voters because they know their numbers are dwindling. They know that the Republicans and the independents are coming along and they're going to sweep the Democrats under the rug. The Democrats are looking for more voters. Oh, and don't get me wrong, I think some of the Republicans, no, not some, most of the Republicans are in the same boat. They want voters. So at the end of the day, folks, at the end of the day, where are you at? Do you know that the Jade Helm 15 is what it is, a total tool to stop the uprising of American citizens when the United States finally collapses? Or is it? That's another question. And why is there 450 more troops going to Iraq? Is there an agenda that has to be met? Is there a quota that has to be met? Considering that just last month or a month or so ago, 1,200 were sent over. So, what's the purpose of that? I mean, I'm going all over the board here, and I understand that. But here's the thing. If you focus your attention on just one thing, you're going to miss out on a plethora of other things happening around that one thing. If you open your mind and heart to other things and examine those things that are out there, like I do, or like most of the people I know do, you're going to find out what's going on, and you're going to be much more prepared than most people. So think about that one. If you don't look at other things, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I'm going to get out of here, folks. Another day, another few pennies. This is the 11th of June, 2015. I want you, really, I encourage you to go check this stuff out yourself. Don't believe me. Don't believe anybody else. Just check this stuff out yourself. I encourage you to do that, I hope. In the meantime, folks, enjoy your Thursday, enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, whatever time it is there now, whatever time you are listening to this. And always remember that the only truth that you will see is what you will see. What's true for you is true for you. I can give you the information, I can give you the websites, but unless you go out and check it out yourself, you're never going to know. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do my best to get a live show next week, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, the American Liberty Radio Live program. And so, hopefully I can. In the meantime, folks, remember this. Liberty is the road, and freedom is the goal. Have a great day, folks.